Hello and welcome to all you Geminis. This is your yearly horoscope. I was so curious I wanted to know what's going to happen in 2018. And so I decided to make the horoscopes for 2018. It's a bit early, I know, but I'm sure some of you are as curious as me, and certainly Geminis, because Geminis are known to be very, very curious. So let's get started. Of course, there's a lot happening. I can't push it all into these 10 minutes because I don't want these videos to be too long. But so if you want a tailor-made and if you're really, really interested to know what's going to happen, get in touch. If not, if you're saying, yeah, I want to know a bit the flavor, what's in general, take it as it's in general, okay? So you Geminis, what's happening? What's happening in 2018? Let's get started with the Saturn trine Uranus. Uranus is about changes. Saturn is about holding, keeping on towards what's good and continuing with the old. And when they form a beautiful trine in 2018, and especially that will be felt around August, September time of 2018, when that beautiful trine is formed, it means that there is a balance between new things and old things. So that's something to look forward to. And for you, this is happening behind the scenes. This is happening in your 8th house and in your 12th house, which are water houses and emotional houses. So there's something about you Geminis that behind the scenes, there is a combination of old things and new things combining with each other. So the 8th house where Saturn is a very complex house. It's the house of psychology. It's the house of fears, it's the house of strength. So with Saturn there, you will have to work very hard to accomplish that. But Geminis, it is a sign that is not afraid of exploring. So, and as Saturn in the 8th is normally quite, it's challenging, it's going to have help of Uranus in your 12th house, which is the 12th house, which is the things that you do yourself. Quietly, you know, privately, reading a book at home, taking a nice bath, all these kind of things, because it's in Taurus. Uranus shifts into Taurus, and Taurus is your 12th house of relaxation. So if you're having a bit of trouble when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to psychological stuff that is deep, when it comes to some little or big fears, you could go towards the relaxation energy, and that's going to balance that out so it won't be that challenging for you. So that's a beautiful thing for you Geminis, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and that is the nervous system. So you're having a bit of a gift here in 2018 that those two planets are quite working together. And that's nice. So that's on a very psychological level. When it comes to health and your work, it's not bad, because you've got Jupiter in your 6th house of health and work. And Jupiter is a very expansive, positive planet. So have you been ill, for instance, or have you suffered from a certain disease? With Jupiter there, it means expansive, transformative experiences, because it's in Scorpio in your 6th house. So that's one thing. When it comes to work, you could gain more work with Jupiter in your 6th house. And that Jupiter is very beautifully aligned with Neptune and with Pluto. And again, with Neptune in the 10th house of work and Pluto in the 8th house, also what I just talked about. So actually what I want to say is that when it comes to work in general, of course, for the Geminis, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good of having meaning, because Jupiter is the planet of finding meaning in something. And having Jupiter going through the 6th house is like work becomes more meaningful, because you're probably doing something that you like. So a lot of you will change jobs, but in a smoothly way. A lot of you will get more meaning from their job, they're getting a promotion even, and it might be a big one actually with Jupiter in those good aspects with Pluto. And Jupiter trining Neptune, which is kind of a magical aspect to have in those quite very rational houses could mean that because you implement a bit more magic in your work, a bit more inspiration, a bit more creativity, a bit more compassion in your work, then you will gain more on all levels, material, but also being content with what you're doing. So actually it's a call for the Geminis to do something more compassionate, to do something more that has to do with creativity. And if you're up to doing so, go for it, because it's really supported here. Okay, and then when it comes to love, you could say what's happening when it comes to love for the Geminis. I don't see anything negative here. In general again, because you had last year and the year before that, you had Saturn in your 7th house. So actually normally in general the testing of the relationship is done, and that's a positive one, isn't it? So relationships should go easier for you, Geminis, should be less restrictive, less responsibility, should flow a little bit more. That Saturn is out of your 7th house, because the 7th house is a key house, it's a key area of life, and when that burden is gone, of course then Saturn is in another house, but it's not a key area of your life, then it really is a relief. And so there are probably a lot of you who had some complications with relationships, or who had some just responsibilities, or Saturn in the 7th often is also when your partner had a difficult time, was having a depression or a burnout or whatever. With Saturn in the 7th house, I've often seen that as well. And that's gone now. So it looks like if you're in a relationship, that your loved one is happier. So that makes you happier too, right? Of course. So all in all, a pretty interesting year. I wish you all the best, you Gemini. I'm not going to talk about all the retrogrades, because that would be that's too detailed, and it's not really giving you the overview. So make the best out of it. I wish you all the best. If you want to have, you know, the real deal, just get in touch, and I wish you a very good 2018. Bye bye.